Hi, Brian. How do you think your safety combo of Eric and Bobby have played this year?
I think they've grown together over the course of the season. The communication's gotten better week to week, not just between those two, but everyone in the secondary, second level at the linebacker position, D-line, really across the board from a communication standpoint. But, obviously it starts with those two, at the safety position. You're really talking to, obviously each other, but the corners, the linebackers, you get down in the front. I know Bobby's been down there quite a bit. So is Rowe. You end up talking to some defensive ends. So their communication's vital. And I think they've both done a good job from that standpoint. And then just as far as their play, I think it's been solid also. But like everything else, we can get better. We got to continue to try to play consistent football. And we need that from them and as well as everyone else on the team.
Adam?
Good morning, Brian. You've talked at length about your past and your growing up in Brooklyn and all that, and all that you had overcome. I'm curious, was there how much of what your past put you through and developed you as a leader, as a person, has prepared you for a season that no one ever kind of considered possible? Certainly you need a level of mental toughness to be a coach in the NFL, but to deal with what you guys are doing now, how much did that prepare you for this moment?
I think, right now the focus is on our team and what we got going on right now. I'm not going to get into, my past and the things that I've been through. I think we've all had experiences that have helped us grow and get better. Everyone deals with some form of adversity throughout the course of their lives. Some are, different than others. No one's is more important than anyone else's, but I think we learned from them. And I know for me personally, they've made me better, and I continue to try to get better for this team, this organization. I think all of our players feel the same way. They've all dealt with things as well that have, helped us in this type of year. I think this year in itself has been, we're all dealing with some adversity, and how we deal with that, or how we've dealt with that. It hasn't been easy, but I think each one of us has had to make some sacrifices over the course of this particular season. And I think as coaches, as players, as executives in really any field, no one's really exempt from making those sacrifices. So I'm not going to get into my personal situation, and I'll leave it at that.
Omar?
Morning, Flo. With the NFL sending out that memorandum basically saying everybody is going into the intense stage of the COVID, I don't know if that's the right name for it. How does that change the dynamic of your preparation in terms of less meeting time or I don't know, less in-person contact? How does that change the week of preparation?
Yeah, the entire league's going to the intensive protocol. We've been in it the last 10 days, 2 weeks. So from a scheduling standpoint, from a meeting standpoint, there's definitely some things that are different than before we were in the intensive protocol, but we've I want to say we've got in a little bit of a routine from that standpoint. So again, virtual meetings and less contact with the players having less contact with one another. But look, we're just going to follow the lead of the league and follow the protocols. I think everyone's trying to do what's in the best interest of the players and give us all an opportunity to play games, which we all want. Again, the players love playing, coaches love coaching. I'm sure you guys love reporting on the teams, and I think if the league feels like this gives us the best opportunity to get all those things done, and we'll follow suit. But I think Commissioner Goodell's done I think he's doing everything he can possibly do to help to find a way to keep this season going. I think Troy Vincent's done a good job from that standpoint. Dr. Sills, Megan Carroll, these are names of people you probably don't know. Donna Ponte, I think they're constantly on the phones. They have all the information. They're the ones we're going to for answers. So they got to deal with all 32 teams. So I imagine that their phones are ringing constantly. And they answer all the calls, they answer all hours, they answer, they try to answer questions as best as possible, as best as they can. They understand, just like we do, that everyone's got to be adjustable and flexible, given where we're at. And I think we'll just continue to, I think at the end of the day, they're looking to keep the players and the coaches and everyone safe and healthy and try to play football.
Cam?
Good morning, Flo. Wanted to ask you about, I guess, your amoeba look. I'm not sure if that's what you call it. Correct me if it's different. But the sort of where everybody's doing something different at the line and confusing. I heard Keenan Allen say that he was confused, or the offense was confused after the game. Not the first time an opponent has said something like that after facing you guys. I guess, one, how important is that confusion to the defensive scheme? And two, how do you create confusion on their side without having it on your side when you run that element of your defense?
I think Josh Boyer and our defensive staff, they do a really nice job of trying to come up with different schemes, ideas that, to answer your question, we can handle, but we also feel like will be an issue for, for the offense. And again, we try to promote creativity here really on all three sides of the ball. And, an outlandish idea to some I think we try to be open. I try to be open to any idea from a football standpoint. And if we can get it and we can execute it, we'll give it a shot. And that may be different from week to week. And it should be, because everyone gets to film, and I'm sure people have seen what we did last week, and they've seen what we've done in previous weeks, and they prepare for them. And you try to give them something different. I think every team tries to do that. But I think our staff on all three sides, Chan, obviously offensively, Danny in the kicking game, and Josh defensively, they have. I try to let them be as creative as they can be, not try to hold them back from anything. But obviously we got to be able to execute it.
Topic?
Hey, good morning, Flo. Wanted to ask if you guys determined if Preston Williams will be out the rest of the season, or if he's going to return at some point. And for Myles Gaskin, do you expect him to return in a week or two?
I think both guys are doing everything they can to get healthy as quickly as they can. Again, I don't like to put timetables on guys. A hand for one guy may take, a hand for you might take, a day. A hand for me might take 10 days. So everyone's a little bit different, and it's hard to put a timetable in specific guys. But I can tell you that they're both working. Really, all our players are working hard to get back as soon as they can.
Mike?
Hey, Coach, want to ask you a little non-football question real quick. The Florida Panthers and Brett Peterson made a little history this week, Brett Peterson being the first African-American assistant GM in the NHL. I believe you guys knew each other back at Boston College.
No, Brett.
How happy are you for him and to see him make a little history in the NHL?
I was looking for my Florida Panthers hat this morning. Couldn't find it. So, yeah, I'm excited for Brett. We went to school together. He's, this is a smart, talented, I think they got a great hire there, and I think they're Matt Caldwell. He's someone I've been in contact with also. Look, I support the teams down here in South Florida, and been to a couple Panthers games. Looking forward to going to a few more, and yeah, they have all my support. I'm excited about the direction they're moving. And,
Final question, Omar.
Just want to get an update on Van Noy. He's an important piece for your defense. If he doesn't play, who and how do you fill in that void in terms of guys and their ability to play so many different roles?
Kyle's like all the other guys. He's doing everything he can to get back as soon as he can. But we've got guys. He plays a number of roles. Linebacker, defensive end. He's inside. He's outside. Rusher and coverage. So it's almost you got to get a couple guys to say, "Hey, you're Kyle on this play. You play this. Kyle's on the roll on this play." So it's by committee, and we've got a few guys, number of guys, whether it's Kamu, whether it's Ginkle, whether it's Egovan. We got a few different guys who can fill those roles, in practice, and hopefully not, but if we had to go that route in the game, I think our guys are ready to step up if that's the situation. But Kyle's going to do everything he can to get to be ready to play. It's important to him, and yeah, hopefully we get him back. But National Football League, it's nicks and bruises happen everywhere, and look, we're not going to put again, nothing's more important than health and safety of our players, and we're not going to put anyone in a situation where they could do any further harm.